processes introduction. Now let's discuss that how do we make different sentence. For example, we find sentence which are simple yes no question, we find sentence which are statement or declarative sentence, and we make interrogative sentences which are yes no. Sometimes we may add WH words to them. So there are different types of sentences. So let's look at the process that is involved in creating such sentences. So the basic sentence pattern in English, looking at the straightforward sentence, in which the basic pattern described by the phrase structure rule, a sentence consists of NP and VP consists of VP and NP, and this is how we explain sentence. Let's study the basic sentence pattern into more detail. So let's take as basic sentence like Jane gave this book to Bill on Saturday, right? So first we take the phrase structure rule on which this sentence was built on. So S consists of NP and VP. NP consists of determiner and noun, and VP consists of tense, V, NP, PP and PP, right? To Bill and on Saturday, they are both PPs. So tense mean past tense and PP mean preposition and noun phrase. So when we give them, insert lexical properties or material on the phrase structure rule, we know that N is Saturday, Bill, Jane and book. Determiner is this, verb is give, and preposition is on or to. So if we bracket to C, we find sentence NP Jane, VP the tense past, VP give, NP this book, prepositional phrase to, Bill, noun Bill, and then again prepositional phrase on and noun phrase Saturday. So this tells us how we use phrase structure rule for our basic sentence and how we insert appropriate lexical material to these phrase structure rules. So all we need to know is to ensure that the past tense marker ends up on the right of the verb give. So we added suffix ed, as we know that give has a past tense as gave. So it's this is how we change the sentence from present to past. The step from the underlying structure 2C to 1 is the operation of morphological rule, which ensures proper attachment of affixes. So in the first step, simply the suffix is added. It is possible to vary the basic pattern of sentences by performing additional operations to the underlying or deep structure, right? So we at deep structure apply certain rules and can have different types of structures. So starting from 2C, once again we may arrive at the quite different patterns. For example, by forming a yes no question, what can we do is we can bring a do and make the same sentence. Did Jane give this book to Bill on Saturday? We can also perform another function by WH question. We can add what, and the sentence thus became, what did Jane give to Bill on Saturday, or to whom did Jane give this book on Saturday? Similarly, we can have another operation that is adding fronting the adjunct PP. On Saturday, Jane gave this book to Bill. Similarly, we can have another function that is of passivization. So this book was given to Bill on Saturday, or Bill was given this book by Jane on Saturday. And similarly, we can have a clefting example. It was Jane who gave the book to Bill, or it was Bill that Jane gave this book on Saturday. It was on Saturday that Jane gave this book to Bill. So again, we can have another operation, pseudo clefting. What Jane did was give this book to Bill on Saturday. So example man as well as the example listed under A to F above are all related to the string that was shown in 2C. Underlying structure are defined as structure resulting from lexical insertion. We have inserted certain elements like do, like what, like whom, right? So we have in this, we have added something in the PS rules. So surface structure result from applying one or more operations to the underlying structure. So the underlying structure, simple structure Jane gave the book to Bill, went through certain operations, and thus the structures became different. In cases like example 1, only one morphological operation has been performed. That was attachment of the suffix. We made gave from give. But we also make certain drastic changes that you just saw from A to F examples above. So schematically, our description is organized as follows: underlying structure, and then we have some certain processes, and then comes the surface structure. Let's return to one more example. Instead of inserting nouns and determiners into the noun slots, we can also use proforms. For example, after having used proform or inserted proforms, we get the sentence she, then gave, past tense gave, then noun phrase it, and then noun phrase him on Saturday. So what we have done is that we have inserted pronouns instead of the determiner plus noun. So this is also possible. This is another kind of a process, right? So 3a is again the underlying structure. After attaching the past tense suffix to verb, we arrive at surface structure. She gave it to him on Saturday, right? So inserting pronominal elements rather than full lexical noun phrases is referred to as pronominalization. So you have seen that how different processes are used to make different types of clauses or different types of sentences.